be dodging up if you just got up, would you?
Have you any idea what the time is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The drayman are due any minute. She sent me across here search party. Oh, come on, Fred. Get some clothes on your body.
Give me 5 minutes, will you? I've only just got up.
Bad night.
Didn't get off till about 7:30. Heard the alarm go at 7 and I went spark out. Hearing like conversations going through your head, you know what it is.
With Eunice?
Aye. Think about the old times and all what she said, you know. She must have meant some of it, Betty.
Yes, of course she did, lovey. At the time, but you know, a lot's happened since then, Fred. I mean, you've had your fair share of bad luck.
Yeah. Not enough to break up a marriage, though, is it?
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go there and see her. Going to have it out with. It's obvious what I've got to do. I'm going to tell her it's her and me that counts, her and me and nobody else.
Well, I mean, if you think it's worth a try, Fred.
Of course I do. I'll get her back here and it'll be, well, it'll be just like it was before.
I'm told they're very nice.
It still looks too much for one. Most of it'll get wasted. I don't seem to eat a lot these days.
Well, you're going to go a bit mad over Christmas, though, aren't you?
Well, not this year. It's not like when Ernest...
I know.
And after that, there was you and Tracy. And then last Christmas, Arnold. Is it really only last Christmas? It seems like a lifetime ago.
Hang on a minute. I've just had a brilliant idea. You come to us.
Oh, no, Deirdre, I wasn't hinting.
Well, I know you weren't, you daft thing, but really, you come to us, and that way you'll be spared a guilty conscience from chucking half a Christmas pudding in bin.
Oh, what'll Ken say?
Oh, one or two choice words, I imagine, but he'll bear up. Don't be daft, he'll be tickled pink, as will Madam. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Probably because I had so much on.
What about Albert?
Look, when Albert decides he wants to stuff the turkey and peel a few spuds, he can have a say in the guest list. Otherwise, chef's the boss. Well?
I'd love to, on condition you let me help.
Well, naturally. It's the only reason I'm inviting you. Hey, she's a brave woman, is Emily. Not only risking indigestion, but a kiss under the mistletoe from Uncle Albert.
Oh, yeah.
They've invited me for Christmas dinner.
Oh, very nice.
What do you mean she's not coming home? She always comes home at dinner time.
Yes, well, she's not today, because she's busy, isn't she? She's getting orders out. It's only a couple of days to Christmas, so how that escaped your notice?
And what about my dinner? And I can do without your sarcasm.
Well, can't you get a bite at the pub?
No. I don't fancy going out. It's too cold.
Well, it's only next door, for Pete's sake. Look, Uncle Albert, I've got to go. I'm 15 minutes late for a meeting now. Can't you get yourself something for one?
Now, look, she can pop in just for a few minutes, can't she? How long would it take her to do an egg for me on toast? She's not his slave, you know. You want to point that out to her.
Well, what I will point out is that Deirdre isn't your slave either.
And what the heck's that supposed to mean?
90% of the time, she's good enough to get you your dinner.
Good enough? She's cooking yours at the same time, and the nippers, isn't she? She's not doing me any special favour.
Yes, but it's still extra work for her, though, isn't it? Deirdre is my wife, not your housekeeper. Well, now where you going?
I'm going out.
So I just don't want you taking her for granted, that's all.
I was going to get myself one of those individual turkey portions, but it's not the same thing, is it?
No, not on Christmas Day.
No, it'll be much nicer now that Tracy's going to cook my Christmas dinner for me, aren't you, Pet?
I wasn't.
Oh, yes, you are. You told me you were going to cook the turkey all by yourself.
I'm not silly.
No, but you're going to help me make the mince pies, aren't you?
Oh, it's lovely being with the family on Christmas Day.
Oh, and now you're going to see Father Christmas, aren't you? You're a busy little girl. What are you going to ask for?
It's a secret.
Of course it is. All the best things are secret. Come on then, love it, if we're going to catch that bus.
Well, I hope you get what you want, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, love. Bye-bye.
Hey, look, you could come to us, you know, but...
No, it's all right. I mean, I know Mr. Fairclough wants a quiet day, just the two of you on your own. But he's entitled. I mean, I fully understand.
Yes, love. I called for the lights. The lights? That young lady put them on one side for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but with you not coming back, I'm afraid I've let them go.
Oh, but I said I'd come back. I definitely said I wanted them. You said it'd be no trouble keeping them for a day or so.
Well, a day or so, yes, but I mean, you have left it rather till the last minute. Well, we didn't want to get stuck with them.
Have we none left?
No, Mrs. Ogden took the last set.
Well, what am I going to do? I've not got time to go trading about now. I've got enough to do with the party as it is.
Well, I could go into town this afternoon. I'm sure the wholesalers still have a few left.
I'd be ever so grateful. I don't want to put you to any trouble. It's his mother's 80th birthday as well, you see, on Christmas Day. They're all coming, the old tribe. I can tell you I'm run off my feet.
Oh, well, it'll be no trouble. The young lady will be only too pleased to go, won't you?
Oh, well, in that case, I'll call back in the morning. It's just that I'm such a worrier. My George goes mad with me. But I do like everything to be just so.
Oh, it will be. I mean, she's a close personal friend of one of their top salesmen, and if anybody can price fairy lights out of them, she can. Ta-ra, love.
Bye-bye. Right, I'll go and get my coat.
Right, go and get your coat.
Well, it was my fault. I mean, it's the least I can do.
Mavis, I never said a word.
But you don't think I should go?
Actually, yes, I do. But as far as Mr. Simpson's concerned, don't get your hopes up too high of a Christmas date.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's just that in this life, Mavis, things don't always pan out as you'd like them to.
Do you really think you're telling me something I don't already know, Rita?
Who's the lady with the fur coat and all the diamonds?
That's Mrs. Chalker. She's just come back from the Caribbean. She spends half her life on cruise ships and the other half in here.
One of your regulars, is she?
Yes, a very good customer. Her husband died and left her a fortune, but for all her money, she's a very lonely woman.
Perhaps she fancies you.
Oh, I shouldn't think so. She's very nice, but a bit on the ripe side for me. I've still got young ideas.
Oh. Fred.
Well, a bit of a welcome would be nice for starters. Something like a load of a wire. Or is that asking too much?
Fred, you haven't come to start a row, have you?
I'm sure he hasn't. She's had enough arguments. She wants a bit of peace for a change.
And so have I, mate. Listen, do you mind if I have a quiet word with my wife in private?
Fred, I thought we had all this out yesterday.
And you think we've got it resolved, do you?
Well, haven't we?
Look, Eunice. Look, Eunice, you are my wife, and I do love you. And I want us to be together, to live together. We'll find somewhere else to live, love. I mean, bricks and mortars aren't everything. It's people that matter, love, people. Look, we were a great team, weren't we? I remember, we were great. If it weren't for him there, we'd still be, well, struggling on.
I'm sorry, Fred. You said the word, struggle. I'm tired of struggling on. I've been doing it most of my life, and, well, now I've a chance of something better.
What, with him?
And what's wrong with that?
Listen, if it hadn't been for you, me and my wife would still be together again.
Please don't.
It's all right. Eunice is a fine person and she's free to make her own decisions. If she wants to go with you, I can't stand in her way.
It's easy for you to
Fred,
say that,
don't,
isn't it?
please.
Yeah. And a fat chance I'd have we walked up together,
Fred!
wouldn't you?
Now, take it easy.
You wanted her from the start, didn't you, mate? Yes, you did. What about all these flipping lies, all these lies about you wanted me to work with? You didn't want me at all. You know what that is, mate? That's enticement, is that? That's taking a man's wife away from him. Entice, I can get you in law for that,
Fred,
mate.
will you
Enticement
stop it?
is against the law.
Listen to me, Fred, I've told you I like him for himself.
Oh, yeah? You like him for himself, eh? Not for what he can give you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good, is that, innit? Yeah. It's flaming good, innit? By God, it is.
yes.
Who did you see?
Oh, Bobby Simpson. Oh, yes, I saw him as planned, and he was very nice. He even gave me a discount off those, because it's the end of the season. Oh, he asked if you'd decided yet about them paper cups. We had a very pleasant conversation.
Just business.
Well, was it so stupid of me to think that he might have asked me out for a Christmas drink, at least, after the way he was before? I mean, he seemed so interested. Look how he pushed me into making that date.
But you didn't keep that date, did you, Mavis?
Well, I wasn't well. I had that cold sore.
You had cold feet, more like it. Now, be honest, Mavis, you were frightened to death of that blind date. So, you've only yourself to blame that Bet ended up taking your place.
How do you mean?
Well, she said you were going home that way, and if she saw anybody in shopping precinct looking gormless, she'd tell him that you couldn't make it.
Well, that still doesn't explain how she took my place.
Well, when she got there, Bobby mistook her for you. And she couldn't see any point in disillusioning him. I suppose she thought, why tell the poor bloke he's been stood up if you don't need to know?
So Bet went out with him and let him think that she was me?
More or less.
Well, I think that's an absolutely diabolical cheek.
Well, why is it? You didn't want to go out with him? She didn't pinch your boyfriend?
She let him think that she was me.
Only for one night.
So that when he met me, he was disappointed. I mean, having gone out with somebody like Bet is not going to be interested in a person like me. Right.
What you have to do now, Fred, is to get yourself sorted out.
It's all right, mess, isn't it, Mrs. Walker? No wife, no home.
That isn't quite true, you know. You've still got a home here.
But you mean I could move back in here?
Well, it worked quite smoothly before. Don't see why it should be any different now.
Oh, we always did get on well together, didn't we, Mrs. Walker?
We did. When there were just the two of us.
How soon could I move in, Mrs. Walker? I mean, could I move in tonight?
Well, certainly, as far as I'm concerned. But surely they're not going to throw you out of the flat as quickly as that, are they?
No, it's not them that's in hurry, Mrs. Walker. It's me. I don't want to stop over there more longer than I have to. You know, there's too many memories. Well, I know she lived here with me, but, well, over there it was our first home. First and last.
Now, look, you go and collect your things, and I'll put a hot water bottle in the bed to air it.
Look, I do appreciate this, Mrs. Walker.
Not at all. It's the least I can do.
Right, I'll get off. I'll just watch telly for half an hour and have a bit of a rest, you know.
Fred, dear, there are one or two tiny little things I would like you to do for me. Just deliver one or two Christmas presents, you know. After all, now that you're not rushing back and forth from the centre, you'll have more time, won't you?
Yes, Mrs. Walker. Well, of course. Any time.
You know, Fred, unlike some people who shall be nameless, you have always been totally reliable. It'll be a great pleasure to have you back.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're pleased, Mrs. Walker.
Oh,
Hi. Right, who's going to give me a hand to get tea ready? Honey, I've got to go back for an hour. We've still got some orders to make up.
Well, you needn't make no tea for me.
Why are you going out?
No, I'm stopping in. Been out enough for one day.
Well, you want a bite to eat then, won't you?
No, I'll make my own, thank you.
Uncle Albert.
Look, would somebody mind telling me what's going on here?
Never mind, love. You sit down. You must be worn out. I'll get the flipping tea.
You know, according to some folk, I'm taking you for granted.
Rubbish! What folk? What have you been saying, Ken?
No, just forget it, love. Now, what are we having?
Oh, egg and chips, anything that's quick. I'll do the spudge, you set the table. And listen, I don't want you two falling out over me. I've enough to think about with Christmas only 2 days off. Oh, and by the way, I've asked Emily to come round.
Fine.
When's this?
Christmas Day for a dinner.
Bloomin' heck.
Oh, come on. She is a special friend, Uncle Albert. I couldn't very well leave her on her own.
Why not? I've been on my own many a time. And still would be if some folk had their way.
That's a rotten thing to say.
No, but it's true, isn't it? And don't crack on, you don't wish I wasn't here.
All right. When you're in this kind of mood, I could wish quite devoutly that you were somewhere else.
Ken!
What does he expect me to say? He niggles on and on. He's totally selfish as far as you or anyone else is concerned. What does he expect me to do? Be grateful?
Oh, blimey.
Where are you going now, Uncle Albert?
I'm going to Legion. At least I'll find a welcome there.
Look, love, I know he's often unreasonable, but he is an old man.
Yes, and there's a limit to the allowance we make for that, too. Age does not give anybody carte blanche to ride roughshod over everybody's feelings.
But he doesn't hurt my feelings. I can cope with it.
Yes, but you shouldn't have to, should you, love? You've got enough to cope with as it is.
Come on, get a move on, Cop. We can't be here all night.
Can't help thinking things might have been different, though.
Yeah, well, we could all say that, Fred. We can't live our lives in what might have been. If I'd have done that, I'd have had a nervous breakdown. It's what is, Fred.
Just think I could maybe have handled things a bit different, you know.
Well, for what my 2 penn'orth's worth, I think whichever way you'd have handled this, it would have ended up same road.
Mrs. Walker said same thing.
Oh, well, if she's in agreement, it must be right. Apart from being flipping unique. Right, pick it up. I know I said I'd help you pack, but I'm not being the flipping porter. Have you got a couple of bob?
Well, do you want a tip or something?
It's for them outside, you crate egg. Carol singers, singing carols. Of comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
I could do with a bit of comfort and joy myself just now.
Well, maybe your luck's changed, Fred. I mean, you're moving back in with Mrs. Walker, that's a start. You know, you've always enjoyed being her little errand lad.
She's been good to me, has Annie Walker.
Of course she is. Do you know she's almost as big a plaster saint as what I am? Fred, come.
There! You want me to have that, lot?
You'll lump it all right once it's in your belly, won't you? So what's the difference?
It'll weigh a ton.
Luke, you only have to carry it. I have to flaming well cook it. Oh, do you know, every Christmas I swear I won't bother again next year. And every Christmas I'm a fool to myself again.
I know, Hilda. I've got the same thing.
Ah, well, you've got your entertaining to do, haven't you?
Why do we do it? Can you tell me that?
I know. Tradition.
Oh, you believe in tradition, do you, Chuck?
Of course I do.
Good. Because there's other traditions, you know, besides wives wearing themselves to the bone every Christmas. There's traditions like husbands buying wives presents.
I bought you a present.
Stanley, you may be amazed to learn that if anybody was to ask me what my heart's desire was, the answer would not be a pink plastic air freshener.
It's very ornamental, you know. It's shaped like a butterfly.
I don't care if it's shaped like a laughing hyena. It's still a flaming air freshener.
Well, that'll be his little joke, Hilda. He's probably got something really nice to surprise you with on Christmas morning.
Oh, you think so, do you?
It's a possibility.
Well, do you know something? You're an even dafter optimist than what I am. Come on, Superman, get shifty.
Oh, blue mate. Oh! Right.
Yeah.
After all. Oh, you can't help feeling sorry for her, can you?
Yeah, she just likes mourning, that's all. Come Christmas Day, though, she'll be sat in there with them 2 tubs of lard, knocking back sherry, happy as Larry.
While you'll be sitting here on your own.
Ah, well, it suits me.
You'd rather be on your own, would you?
I quite enjoy my own company.
Oh, it's a pity that, because I was going to ask if you wanted to join us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on. You know perfectly well that's why you've been off with me all day, ever since you heard I invited Emily.
Look, you invite who you like, it's no business of mine.
Well, I want you, and I'm asking you, so you're coming, right? Next question. How many bags of sultanas does Mrs. Whitehead want? She writes like a demented spider.
Give it to you.
Excuse me, I'd like a word with you if you don't mind.
Have 6, love, it's Christmas.
Oh, you think you're very funny, don't you?
Well, I don't say I'm Marty Kane, but I do have my moments. Mind you, that wasn't one of my better efforts, I must admit.
Go after him, Mavis. Ring him up, Mavis. And all the time you're laughing at me behind my back, knowing what a fool you've made out of me.
How did I do that?
Oh, don't pretend that you didn't. You impersonated me. Now, I know you did, because Rita's told me.
She did what?
Mavis, have you been drinking?
Just because I'm standing up for myself, it doesn't mean to say that that I'm drunk. That I might have had a small glass of sherry just to keep out the cold.
Hey, now, either she's drunk or I am, but I'm sure I've just heard her accusing you of impersonating her. Hey, that's a trick I've got to say.
She did. She deliberately led a third party to believe that I was her. That she was me. Oh, I'm not embarrassed. Oh,
Hey, now steady on. Look, Maeve, I'm sorry if I've upset you, but I mean, it was your own fault. Look, love, maybe next time you get an opportunity, you'll be quicker and grab it.
That's right, that. I mean, I don't know what you're on about, but any opportunity presents itself to me, I grab it.
she was thoroughly deceitful.
Right, now, she was deceitful and you were stupid, so that makes you both a pair. Now, you've got it all off your chest. I'm going to take you home, put you to bed with that water bottle before you start attacking punks. See you.
Look, is it any use me asking what all that was about?
No, sunshine. Strictly girl business between me and Maeve.
But you did pass yourself off as her. I mean, I've got that bit right, haven't I?
In a manner of speaking.
I know, it was all done by mirrors.
Well, actually, Mr. Fairclough, it may come as quite a surprise to you to know that I can sometimes be quite versatile.
Oh, she finally settled after all the excitement.
Oh, she's still chunnering. She reckoned Father Christmas tickled her with his beard.
Dirty old man.
That remark was in very bad taste, Mr. Barlow.
Yes, I know. I do have my lapses sometimes.
Yes, you do. Listen, love. When he comes in, don't go on at him, eh?
I don't intend to.
Oh, no, you never intend to, but you do. Look, I know he's old and grumpy, but I knew all that when I married you. I put up with it then. I can put up with it now.
Oh, don't worry about it.
About me getting fed up? With him or with you?
Both of us. I mean, we're no bargain, are we? This marriage isn't exactly ideal from your point of view.
How do you know what my point of view is?
Well, from anybody's point of view. I mean, you do have problems that other girls don't.
And I also have a lot of advantages. Listen, if you're going on about that age thing again, I'll say it just once more. I love you, and I want to be with you. Despite the fact that you're old and doddery. And I can put up with Uncle Albert as well. In point of fact, I'm quite fond of you both. So will you shut up, stop feeling so blooming insecure and give me a hand to wrap some of these presents? Fire, you look frozen. Is it cold out?
Parky enough.
Tell you what, I'll make you a nice cup of hot cocoa. Ken?
Yes, please.
Oh, listen, by the way, I've asked Alf Roberts to come round for Christmas Day as well. Poor old thing was going round with a face as long as a fiddle. All right?
Fine. You invite whoever you want, love.
Alf Roberts coming.
That's right.
And Emily Bishop as well.
Correct.
Blooming heck. What we us lot and then them. It was like a real old-fashioned family Christmas again.
It's from the solicitors. I found it waiting for me when I got back from town.
Well, do you want me to read it?
Well, maybe you can glean more from it than I can.
Well, not really. I mean, it's as vague as you said it was. They just want to see you in connection with something to do with Arnold. Well, it could mean anything.
Yes, including trouble.
Oh, not necessarily.
Alf, ever since I first met Arnold, he's brought me nothing but problems. I've no reason to think it'll be any different now.
The soap hour begins every weekday at midday here on Granada Plus. And coming up in a few minutes, it's Amos's last day in Emmerdale.